So our goal is to find all three answers when x to the third equals 8. And I'm going to guess that everybody can take a cube root, and can everybody find 2 is one of them?
Yes.
So when we start searching, you guys are very much on the right track. You know, somewhere in there you have to reach into the imaginary plane to find it. Our solution for this is going to be to start picturing where 8 would be on the imaginary plane. So if I was to take the number 8, this is real, this is imaginary, and I was to try to point where I would find 8, I think that 8 would be a positive number. There's no unreal part of it. So I think that it would have to be pointing in here. Because that would be a length of 8, and it would be positive. Now notice if I went over here, it wouldn't be positive, it would be negative. That's an arrow.
Okay. Well.
There's my arrow. It's the best I can make an arrow. So there's an arrow with a length of 8. I would like to write this in polar form. And what I mean by that is I recognize that he is pointing at 0 degrees. And so I would like to write this as 8 times the cosine of 0 plus I sine 0 degrees. So if you're pointing to the right on 0 degrees, that would work. What is the cosine of 0? 1. What's the sine of 0?
0.
Sine of 0 is 0. So if you multiply through and work this out, you would get 8. And that's good, because that's what you're supposed to get. Now, to solve this, what I'm going to do is I know that this is x to the third power equals all of this. You know that if I go around the circle one more time, I would be back at the same place. So I think that I could also say that this could be 8 cosine 360. And I think I could go around the circle one more time.
And then 1.
So I would be at 8 times the cosine of 720. The reason that I went around 3 times is that the equation had x to the third power. If it was x to the fourth power, I would have gone around 4 times. Now, just exactly like you folks said, if I went around one more time, I'd be back to the starting point, and I just start repeating the answer. So now I have one equation where x to the third can equal that. I have another equation where x to the third can equal that. And I have another equation where x to the third can equal that. I would like to solve this one at a time. Was there a question?
No, she's just discussing. We're good.
Okay, we're good. So I'm going to take this guy out, and I'm going to solve him. Now I actually already know the answer to that green one. The answer was 2.
2. So this one's like double.
So let's see how we would solve a problem like this. So if I wanted to solve that, I would do exactly what you said. I would take the cube root, which is the same as raising it to the 1/3 power. So I would say x equals a to the 1/3,
Yeah.
and I would say the cosine of 360 plus I sine 360 is to the 1/3 power. The first number we can do, we get 2 out of it. The next numbers we can do, which is what you're just doing on the board for homework, instead of multiplying by 3, everything's going to get divided.
This shows my kid too. Sorry.
Because 2 times 2 times 2 would give me an 8.
The 1/3 now
So 8 to the 1/3 is 2.
because it's really just like
If you do 1/3 of this,
Yeah, your 1/3 has to be in parentheses if you do it with the calculator.
Oh, gotcha. So you go 8.
So this is the thing that hopefully carried over into the homework. And you see how that 1/3 goes right into the angles. And the thing that's kind of weird is the straight getting turned into
But
just
you're not
simple.
adding anymore. Oh, you're like,
Well, it is kind of an adding. It's just a adding by thirds. So if I work that one out, cosine 120 degrees, sine 120 degrees, think about the unit circle. 120 is right here.
which is
What is it?
square root of 3 over 2.
So what did we decide it was?
Negative half. Okay. But it leaves so flat.
And what's the next
Square
one?
root of 3 over 2.
Would you be able to simplify that to -1 plus I root 3?
And it's 2 out of 3.
Yep. So we're good with those numbers?
So that's another answer?
So this
So-
is the second answer. Now, if we wanted to see if that was correct, we could bring up our calculator.
I don't think I sharpened my blue one.
Yep. Take the blue pencil, sharpen start working. You can give it a shot.
It didn't during Mainstream.
Did it or did not?
Did not.
Oh, okay. They are sending me a new one.
No, it didn't.
It's been funky.
This is faster quicker.
when it's sharp,
Mine is full.
Well, they're sending me a new one in the mail, so it'll be here shortly. So if this is correct, if I take -1 and I add I square root 3 close, and I raise it to the 3rd power, what would it be? So if we did it correctly, we would get the original answer, and that would prove us that we did it.
Oh.
Agreed? So I did one of those. Let's get the blue one. Now I should back up. What was the top green one's answer?
2.
2. So you folks think about doing that one. We will add